cuties, this is Fanvi, and today I will be commentating over my partner duel matches that I played in the afternoon with my friend Tuanzi. Hopefully it will help you learn the game better. So let's get started. So in this first match we played double Hermione combination versus Bella and Hagrid. So since we have a lower level deck than them, we have to pay very close attention to the details. And into the game. So as you can see, Thunderstorm is one of the cards that are at the more bottom of my deck, of my starting deck. So the starting deck is completely random, so that will mean that it's a bit of luck to get the cards that I need on top of the deck. I prefer to wait until they deploy things before I use my cards, so this is why I usually prefer to wait. And unfortunately, because I have a low level on, so that's why he is being taken out pretty quickly. So just using our low magic point cards to actually get rid of the summons that they deploy. And kiting whenever is necessary, so we can use the cards that actually will provide the most benefit. So like something like using Exposal on the summons that they use. It is better if I use Exposal on the Death Leaders, but unfortunately they have a high level bomb box, so I chose to use the Exposal on that at the time. It is okay. So now that I look at it, I realize that it is probably better if I had used it on Death Leader. Something like that is what I can take note of when I watch my replays. So one thing to note about Hermione Thunderstorm is that even if we are struggling to clear the field, Thunderstorm will put a timer on the opponent's health. So that will mean that all we have to do is to make sure that our half isn't filled with summons, and then Thunderstorm will take care of parts of the jobs of trying to make them lose health. And Tuanzi secured the win with Incendio, so that's also a very important part about that game. In this next game, because my Hermione was banned, so I chose to use Harry. And in this game, I used Priori and Inflatus, so instead of Priori and Episky. The reason I changed is because we got them in the earlier match, so I realized that there are players, so the players that I'll be playing against have a higher deck than I do. So I have to be very careful, and I probably don't have time to heal up. That is why I changed my deck. So something like that is something that I should keep in mind. Because if I want to prioritize damage or to prioritize room for mistakes, which is using heal. So hopefully that makes sense. And I choose to use Inflatus on Second Book of Monsters because I can use the basic attack to deal more damage in the meantime, knowing that I do not have a high level Exposal. I wouldn't be able to actually get rid of them with just one Exposal. So just standing at the corner of the middle line to try to find a chance to get the Stupefy on both of them. And because I cannot find a chance to do so, I choose to wait until they deploy things before I decide. So over here, because the Pure Totem is taunting me, that is why I did not actually have any damage on Pure Totem the first time. Something like that is what we really need to watch out for as Hermione, is that we do not get taunted. Same for Hermione, we don't want to put out Thunderstorm when the Pure Totem is taunting, because the taunt will actually get rid of 99% of the damage. So something like that is very important to keep in mind. And using Priori on against Ron is also a good way to stop them. It's better if I use Stupefy, but I want to save it for the Hagrid Fear Totem statue. And against Tuanzi secured the win with Incendio, so it is very good on her part. In this next match, I believe it was, I think it was Bella and Hermione. So let's go in and see. So in this match, I played Hermione. What did Twitch play again? So yes, it is a double Hermione against a double Bella team. So just trying to find a good position to get rid of the summons on here. So I prefer to use a stance of one person in the front, one person in the back. This will make sure that we have enough distance from each other, so stuff like this wouldn't happen to us. So if there is AoE damage, then we can make sure that we are able to dodge it by being very far from each other. So unless we need to use, so dodging the water with Portkey, and Tuanzi dodges it with the broomstick. So these are two options that we can use. And also using Exposal on the Death Eater when he comes around. So over here I could choose to wait before I deploy Hermione, but because we have low level decks, that is why we have less health. So it's very important for me to actually make sure that I have Hagrid enough time to actually get on Hagrid before time runs out. So that's why I chose to deploy Hermione early. And again, with Tuanzi securing the win with her Incendios. In this match again, we are using a double Hermione team versus a double Bella. I think this is what they used. Let's go in and see. So Bella usually has the fallen bar underneath. So this is Hagrid and Bella again. So there is the fallen bar, and that is something that will indicate that you are going against a Bella. So, and if it's Hermione or Harry, whenever we use a spell, our echo will appear above our head because it is a part of deduction, or we will try to carry low cost cards. So over here, Ron actually hit into the Portkey, so that is why it didn't actually get. So that is why it actually didn't get the last bit of damage. And my invisibility in the fog was broken when the twins entered the fog. So something like that is to keep in mind. So we should always try not to put the fog too close to the middle. That was on me. So as they're in the fog together, Tuanzi is trying to get their health low and to a similar health line. Is dealing as much damage with the broomstick as in the meantime. So I see that they deploy Ron, so I go out of the fog so it will target me instead of Tuanzi, just to make sure that there will be enough health for her to actually heal me up. Because once we go down, then it is very hard. and Thunderstorm secures the win for us. In this next match, I remember it was Double Bella, I think. It is Harry and Hermione versus Double Bella. So again, like I mentioned before, Harry is actually quite good against Bella because he has more spells to actually target kill. So, but that is just the echo wise. Because we have a lower deck than them, we don't actually have as much of an advantage. So over there, I tried to use Inflatus on one of the opposing players. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to use Inflatus. Try not to treat Inflatus like a normal card, like Exposal card. So just trying to use it on at least opponents at my time. Stay in the fog to get the damage that we need.
Oh, this isn't what the book said. All right, everyone, we're in this together now.
So as we can see over here, it is just a little bit more damage, so I can take them out with a Broomstick. In this next match, we play Double Hermione against Double Bella. So again, it is the Sectum Sempra, Thunderstorm, and Incendio Thunderstorm. So we got them quite a few times this afternoon. So just waiting for them to deploy their companion before I use Ron, so I can maximize the damage that he is able to deal on the opponent. And this time I remember not to use the Portkey before deploying Ron. So I use the Portkey under myself so I can travel to somewhere different without using steps. Also because I really need to deduct my higher cost cards with Portkey at the time, so I chose to put it under myself. We'll just continue to kite the book of monsters and dealing basic attacks at the same time. So there are a lot of books, just cross-kiting them so we can maximize Exposal. Over here, I was trying to see if I can use the Broomstick to bait out the Death Eater, but unfortunately, I actually used the Broomstick a little early, so the Death Eater did not come out the time that I expected them to. So just using Exposal to cut off the Death Eater whenever that is an option. And they used the book to break our invisibility, so that is something that we have to be careful about. Well, since they did not slay my Hermione companion, she is able to copy 2 more cards aside from the initial Thunderstorm. So it's always very important to slay the companions first. So that is end of it. I hope you liked the video. See you next time.